Welcome to Midnight Menu Plus One. I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margo Moss. Midnight Menu Plus One is a food lifestyle show on the podcast network, It's NewOrleans.com. Tonight, we're at the NOLA Brewing Tap Room in the Irish Channel.
The tap room is NOLA Brewing's on-site watering hole. They serve NOLA's regular lineup of craft beer as well as 8 specialty brews you can't get anywhere else. With their brand new digs here, it's wonderful.
And the tap room is open 7 days a week, weekdays from 2 to 11 p.m., and weekends from 11 in the morning till 11:30 at night.
Friends, glad you could join us. Each week on Midnight Menu Plus One, Margo and I invite a member of New Orleans restaurant and food community to have a beer with us, and we invite them to bring along their own guest, a plus one. We never know who the plus one's going to be. Sometimes it's a friend, a neighbor, a family member, a fellow restaurant colleague. Could be just about anyone.
Our special guest on Midnight Menu Plus One tonight is Cheryl Lemoine of Renaissance Publishing, LLC, and one of the producers of the Sushi Fest.
And we're really looking forward to meeting Cheryl in just a moment. But before we do, let's briefly catch up on this week's culinary ventures. Margo, did you eat anything worth reporting? Anything that didn't make you sick? I know you had one incident of some really good food. You probably don't want to say where it was, but
no, I had some great food. I went to Salon above Scot Craig,
right?
And I had the peanut butter and jelly foie gras.
Oh,
it's
nice.
their new location in the French Quarter,
right?
And it's like small plates. It was divine. I
Awesome.
thought it was going to be, kind of freaky with peanut butter and too sweet. It was fantastic.
Nice.
And it was a really nice atmosphere and enjoyed it a lot.
Sweet. Doesn't Commanders have a peanut butter and jelly foie gras? Did they steal that from them? I can't remember. I feel like I've heard that before.
Well,
maybe that's something different.
I'm not sure, but there's nothing new under the sun. I mean, people try and create new things, but the way you do it, I guess, makes it unique. Each person's individual touch, even if it's the same thing. It was.
Everybody's been raving about that place. Yeah, I haven't been yet, Salon, but I'm dying to. Of course,
lovely.
been there. It's super great. Well, I had so I was all week. I was away. I was in Crystal River, Florida, which is not exactly a restaurant mecca, but we may have some listeners from Crystal River, and it's a very lovely place. But I walked 4 miles to go to this place to get some oxtail because they had some great oxtail at this little pizzeria, really, called Natalia's, a little humble in a strip mall. It was so good. It was like $5.50. And then I couldn't stop thinking about it the whole day and night. I was just obsessing about it. So the next morning I walked another 4 miles out there to get there. And I got there right before dinner, and they weren't serving yet. And I couldn't hang around and wait, so I had to leave. And then I can't wait till next year I get back to get some more of the oxtail. I wonder if they can ship it or something. It was so good. It was just perfect. And then also my book signing for the new Rolling Elvi book is tomorrow at the Carrie Confidential thing I think we talked about. It's tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 4th at Cafe Luna. The owner, Greg Hill, was one of our greatest guests in our show's history and really one of our favorites on the show. But then also in the very small time I've had in town being away, I've been trying to get into the mood of sushi for Sushi Fest. And so I went back again to haiku. I've already raved about haiku. I feel like I did last time I went a week ago on the show. But I got the Crouching Tiger again. I know I should be trying other things on the menu, but it was so good I just couldn't bear not to have it. So I got it twice, but big specialty roll. It was so good. It's just, I love that place so much. It's in that spot, that the doomed spot. It had been doomed before of the Middle Eastern places, a series of those right there next to New York Pizza near Magazine and Napoleon. But I think Haiku is going to do really well because they are really in a neighborhood full of some really good sushi places. Haiku just really stands out to me as fantastic.
All right, well, great. Well, speaking of Sushi Fest,
yes,
let's get to our guest and hear, because that sounds very exciting. So I'd like to welcome Cheryl to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
So New Orleans Sushi Fest, this is the second year it'll be going on. We did change the venue this year, so we're now at the Lakefront Arena, and it's going to be on Sunday, August the 16th. From 2 to 5 p.m. is general admission. And we've got all kind of fabulous food and Japanese-inspired entertainment and just lots and lots of fun going on. So it should be a really good time.
Great. And now what is the event? Does it benefit anything?
Yes. We actually partner with, there's 2 local organizations called the Japan Club of New Orleans and the Japan Society of New Orleans, and they are both nonprofit organizations. So we partner with them, and they kind of guide us and steer us to make sure that we're Japanese appropriate, if you will. And we donate a portion of the proceeds to both of those organizations.
Lovely.
So yeah, it is a benefit.
Interesting. Okay, so what do they get? What kind of entertainment do they have lined up?
Well, Flow Tribe is our headlining band,
Okay.
so we love Flow Tribe, and that should be really fun. Then we also have all kind of little surprises going on throughout the day. Cat's Meow is hosting a karaoke club, so
Nice.
you can get your pop star on and karaoke in the karaoke club.
Which is big in Japan.
Yes, very much
Right, was
so.
where it started, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've got photo booths, and we have someone doing little upper body massages, shoulder massages, and so we tried to just bring in all sorts of things that would add to the festival and make it fun. We have an Aikido demonstration that'll go on when the band takes a break and things like that.
Oh, neat. Now, where was it last year?
Last year was at Mardi Gras World.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
So we just
So why'd you move venues?
We just needed a little bit more space. We also it's Ticketmaster run, so that helped tremendously to handle the ticketing portion of things. So it just worked out where we, thought it was a good move for us.
Now, speaking of Ticketmaster, there's a discount if people get their tickets in advance, isn't there? Or is
Yes.
that still good?
Yes, up
Okay.
until midnight the night before. So it's $15 online if you
Okay.
buy them in advance through any Ticketmaster outlet. You could either go to the Ticketmaster outlets as well, and it's $25 at the door. So that gets you in. It gets you all the entertainment, and then you purchase sushi and all your food and drink, throughout the day.
Wait, you can't have all-you-can-eat sushi for $15?
Believe it or not, we had people show up last year,
Yeah, they
and
expected
they
that, yeah.
expected that. So we made it very clear this year that
Right.
no all you can eat. The VIP is all you can eat, but unfortunately that is sold out.
Sold out. Wow. Okay.
VIP sold out. So
All right, you need
Excellent.
to raise the price.
apparently we do. Exactly, it's a good thing.
Now, there's free parking there, too, isn't there, at the arena,
Yes, that
too?
was the other thing we were able to negotiate with the arena, and they've been fabulous to work with, is that they included parking. So everybody, for $15, you get the parking and all your entertainment and everything lumped into one.
So how many vendors would you say? I mean, is it all styles of food, or focused mainly on sushi? And
We have 20 vendors. 2 of them are doing sweets, so we have somebody doing cupcakes, and then we have Froyo doing frozen yogurts. The other 18 are all savory, and I would say about 2/3 of them are sushi restaurants, and they'll be doing multiple rolls and salads and so forth. And the other aspect of it is, folks, we know not everybody likes sushi, although I find it hard to believe. There are people out there who don't eat it. So we do have some other restaurants like Vega Tapas Cafe, House of Blues will be there, Katie's Restaurant, and we have a handful that will just do a Japanese-inspired dish.
Fun.
So it might be something with a soy glaze or something of that nature, but it'll have a Japanese kind of flair to it,
Or
but
some
it's not
teriyaki or
sushi.
something, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So there is something for everybody, because we've had a lot of people say, well, my husband loves sushi and I don't, or vice versa, so everybody
Right.
can come out and eat and enjoy it.
All right.
It's also a competition.
Oh.
So we have some food writers who come in, food experts, and they'll judge. So you can put one item from your menu into the competition, and we give awards in about 10 different categories, and they're from best use of wasabi to most beautiful presentation. So that's really gets all the sushi chefs and the chefs excited. Then we also do a People's Choice Award, so everybody can pick for their favorite restaurant at the event. So we give that, and then we do a grand champion, which is the overall winner of what our food judges decide is just the best roll of the day.
so,
Nice.
do you recall who won last year?
Last year, grand champion was Daiwa, and unfortunately, they are unable to participate this year. They lost a sushi chef, so they are not able to join us. They were really disappointed because they wanted to defend the title, of course, but we've still got lots of other great restaurants.
So what are some of the restaurants that are?
Rockin' Sake is one of our big ones, and they do a great job there. Miyako is involved, Lakeview Pearl. We have a place on the North Shore called To Go Sushi. Tsunami, which is out of Baton Rouge and Lafayette. So we have restaurants that come, from other areas because
wow.
they really enjoy the festival.
Neat.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
do you remember?
fun for them and the people that go. You get to
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good gig for Margo next year. She should be a celebrity food judge for it.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
I would love
Free
to get
admission,
that
VIP
gig.
admission for that. then you have an excuse to eat all the sushi you want.
There you go.
That sounds awesome.
I wish I could get the gig.
All right. Well, now, do you remember the first time you ever ate sushi? Where were you? How old were you? Where were you?
You know, the first time I
Yeah.
ate sushi, I was in Atlanta, and I
All
was
right.
probably about 25 maybe. And I was scared of it, like most people are. And the first thing I had was barbecue eel.
All right.
I'm just going to dive in and do the eel.
Oh, nice.
And I love it.
Was it
Usually
a
it's
date?
a California roll or something.
I
was
was
a friend
I was
or-
with a friend.
Nice.
We were visiting friends in Atlanta, and that's where they wanted to go. And I'm pretty much an adventuresome eater, though. I've had all kind of
So
bizarre
did you like it the
things.
first time?
Yes.
All right.
I liked it out of the gate.
Nice.
So you're saying you're an adventuresome eater.
Oh,
so
yes.
what was the most unusual thing that comes to mind that you've tried so far?
Probably the rabbit brains.
Rabbit brains.
Yeah.
Rabbit brain sushi?
No.
Oh, just rabbit brains in general. Where'd you have that?
At El Bulli in
Oh.
Spain a few years ago.
Wow.
And they just did a menu where you had no choice of what the chef just sent out what
See, I don't
the
think
chef
that tastes like
wanted to do.
chicken.
It didn't taste like chicken, but it was surprisingly good, however.
Ah.
It was good.
Was it a lot of rabbit brain?
No,
Rabbits
it
have
was
small brains, right?
Yeah, well, this whole menu was like 30 courses, but it was little bitty tiny bites. So
Okay.
everything came
Wow.
out in just one little bite. So if you didn't like half of them, you were still okay. But,
That sounds like an adventure.
Is it
Yeah.
like sweetbreads or something like that? Is it kind of no?
kind
Is
of
all brain the same? I don't know.
I don't
sweetbreads
know.
is I thought the
Oh,
thalamus.
that's
right?
right. That's
Yes,
right. Yeah.
it is.
What's the brain called? The cow brain that they eat?
This is the only brain I've ever eaten, so I
Oh.
can't really compare it to anything else.
Wow.
But
All right,
that's
I'm
probably
drawing
one of the
blank.
most exotic things I've eaten.
You thinking hog's head cheese?
No.
With it
no,
uses
it's
the-
brain. I'm sure I've had brain. It's not the monkey brain from those horrible movies that you watch in high school. Remember that? Remember that? Faces of Death or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's been banned globally now. But
Probably.
there was an Indian restaurant where they ate monkey brain out of the.
Oh
yeah,
my
remember
gosh,
that?
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how did we get there?
We digress.
Yeah.
So Cheryl, where are you from originally?
I grew up in Chalmette in the parish. So I'm born and raised and have spent my whole life here and live in Mid-City now, and I'm a true and true New Orleans girl.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Renaissance Publishing because that's an amazing
Oh yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Will you tell us a little bit about the publications and the
Sure.
history of the?
And how long have you been
Sure.
working with them?
It is my 1-year anniversary, August the 1st. So I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary with them. I'm familiar with the company because I used to buy media, so I was very familiar with them. The company's been around, almost 50 years. New Orleans Magazine will be 50 years old next year.
Wow.
So it's been around that long. So we produce 7 magazines, and what a lot of people don't realize is we actually produce statewide magazines as well, one called Louisiana Life. So we have New Orleans Magazine, which of course is the flagship of the city. That's been around the longest. Then we have St. Charles Avenue, which is our philanthropic magazine. That's actually 20 years old this year.
Wow.
We have Louisiana Life. We have a magazine called Acadiana Profile, which is the lifestyle magazine of the Acadiana area. So we've got somebody who lives in the Lafayette area and handles that. We have New Orleans Homes and Lifestyles, which is the only glossy home magazine in the city.
Right.
We have New Orleans Bride, which comes out twice a year for the bridal wedding industry. And we have our newest, which is called Biz New Orleans, and it is the only monthly glossy publication that's devoted just to the business community and business industries. So
Wow.
we're pretty busy. We have the 7, and we have 2 websites, myneworleans.com, and we have bizneworleans.com. And we also produce 30 or so, I'm not sure exactly the number, custom publications. So we produce like the Saints Game Day programs and the Jazz Fest Guide and things like
interesting.
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we have a custom division as well.
And so you coordinate. What does your day look like at?
My day can look, it varies from day to day because I don't have a specific, this is what I do every day type of job. But I do all of the marketing for all 7 of the magazines. So I just really help get the word out about the magazines and what we do. In addition, I do all the event planning. We do about 30 events a year.
Wow.
Most of them are small and invitation-only type of events where we name our best chefs of the year, for example, in our restaurant issue.
All right.
We do an event where we invite the winning chefs in and things of that nature. So a lot of them are invitation-only. And Sushi Fest obviously is our biggest that we've conquering. So we go from basically 100 people to 3,000 people.
3,000.
That's
Wow.
about what we'll have at Sushi Fest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear more about that, but it might be a good time to invite your +1 to come along.
I would
see
love
him
to invite my
drinking at the
+1
bar,
over.
and we want him to still be sober when he gets here. So
Yeah.
maybe we should. Maybe it's a good time to.
And
bring him
since
on
he's
over.
celebrating a special day today.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's his special day?
Today is his birthday.
All right.
Oh, well, we're honored that you're bringing a special guest on the day of his birth.
Yeah.
Isn't that special?
So
Yeah,
tell
good way to
us who
spend it.
your +1 is
So
and
my-
why you brought him.
My +1 is a fabulous chef in the New Orleans area, and he's also a very dear friend, and he's very generous and kind and supports lots of causes, and I just love him to death, and he's fun. So that's why I brought him, and his name is Scot Craig, and he is the chef and owner of Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Oh, we love
yay.
Katie's. Oh,
And he
that's
makes
great.
one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
Welcome. Oh, hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, such an
I
honor
know.
to have you here.
I gotta tell you,
Especially
when
birthday?
Cheryl calls, I jump. I always have. She's just such a wonderful person, and if she asks me to do anything, I'm there. So,
All right.
and on my birthday.
And on your birthday.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So who's Katie?
Katie is the previous owner's grandmother,
Ah,
and
okay.
I kept the family name
Right.
because I'm dear friends with the whole family. You know, and I bought the restaurant because I was going there and hanging out there, and I was dating one of the girls that worked there, and
Just made it easy.
And I was already in the bar business. I owned a bar called Parkway Tavern on Canal Boulevard.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back in the restaurant business because I hadn't been in the restaurant business since I had worked at Bart's in the 80s.
oh,
so-
boy. Bart's by the lake?
Worked there for
That was
6
fun.
years. It's like the last job I've had.
In the 80s, you
know?
were still in junior high. Were you
Yes,
going to, you were,
I went.
Yeah.
Bart's was a lot of fun. We, I started as a bartender and left as the general manager, and I really enjoyed my time there, but it was time to go out on my own. So anyway, I bought the restaurant in 1993 and kept the family name. So I'm
Wait, you
glad I
bought
did.
Katie's in 1993?
I bought Katie's in 1993.
Oh, okay.
So I bought Parkway in 1989. And we had talked about doing food at Parkway, but the guy wouldn't sell us the building, and I just didn't want to dump a bunch of money into something we didn't own.
Right.
So we ended up going in the other direction. So we bought Katie's, and I bought the building, and I lived upstairs for 20 years.
Really?
Just until recently. A couple of years ago, we moved out, and we've added seating upstairs. So that's...
Did you marry the girl you were dating when you bought it?
Yeah, but then that's not the one I'm married to.
Oh. You brought it up, sorry. All right.
No, I'm happily married. My wonderful wife
All right.
Stephanie, and
What did
who
Stephanie
Cheryl's
think
met.
about living over the restaurant?
Oh, she loved it.
Cool.
She really did.
Was it noisy?
No, it was soundproofed pretty well.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, Dave Bittner, the man I bought the restaurant from, lived upstairs, and he had soundproofed it, for his family, and he was a contractor and knew what he was doing. So, it wasn't noisy. It was just living above your business for that long of time. It kind of makes you crazy.
Yeah.
That's what made you crazy?
Yeah. Self-inflicted wounds too.
No, just that business in general. That's why we love to meet people every week, because I find y'all all fascinating. You're passionate people, musicians and artists and writers. You got to be passionate and a little crazy to do anything with food.
I tell people all of the time, I'm so glad that I did not go to law school. Because when I got my undergrad in '87, I wanted to go to law school. That was my whole goal through my 7 years of college, was to go to law school. My brother's an attorney, and we talked about practicing together, and I'm just so happy today that I didn't do that, because I could not love my job any more than I do. The restaurant business is hard, and people have come to me trying to get me to open up other locations, and I just have no interest.
Oh, that's interesting.
I love what I do. I don't need any more. I'm happy. It's my baby. you know. And so we've expanded upstairs, but
So when
that's
you
about
moved
it.
out, you expanded the restaurant into your former living space?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And, you know, and it's funny when I go up there and we're serving people, and, you know, people are eating in my living room, my kitchen, my bedroom, and I'll always go in my bedroom and go, nothing ever happened in here. So it's been a great ride, and I'm very happy with the way things have turned out. And that's how I met Cheryl.
That's right.
Cheryl, you went in and met him, or did y'all? Because
From
you
being
lived in the neighborhood.
industry, I do PR and some social media for a couple of restaurants, and so do lots of events. And I don't exactly remember how we met.
Ann Tunerman.
Oh, you're
From
right.
Tales
You're
of the
right.
Cocktail,
Tales of the Cocktail. She
have
put us
known
together.
for 35 years.
Yeah.
We went to
Wow.
school together.
Oh, wow.
So Ann and I were in fraternity sorority together, and so
Did you grow up here?
Oh yeah, I'm born and raised in New Orleans.
Yeah, so what schools did you go to? With her?
Cabrini Grammar School, Brother Martin High School, LSU, UNO.
So you knew her from LSU, or you knew her from
No,
before
I know
that?
her from UNO.
From UNO,
Went to
okay. Okay.
When you go to LSU for a year and a half, and then you come back, and you're at UNO, it's kind of like. And my dad sort of forced the issue for me to go to UNO. He was like, "Dude, you're not doing this LSU thing anymore. It wasn't working out.
Yeah.
We were just having too much fun." And but when I got to UNO, the first thing he said was, "Now don't join a fraternity." The first thing I did was join a fraternity, and that's how I got to meet Ann, because she was in a sorority, and you know, we would have parties, and we had a great time.
All right.
Anyway, Ann introduced. I was looking for a promotional person, and Ann gave me a couple of names, but said Cheryl would be the best.
All right.
And she was right. And it's amazing that Cheryl and I worked together for probably about a year, but
Yeah.
we're still working together, but not really working together. She's just always including me, and I appreciate it. And that's why when Cheryl asked me to do special events or come on a podcast, which this is an honor, I jump. Because
All
I
right.
have a lot of respect. And, you know,
So Cheryl, describe for us your favorite thing to eat at Katie's. What do you enjoy eating there the most?
Oh, I like a couple of things. The redfish Noel.
she
Is that
eats
your?
every time you
I
come in.
do. I know, because I love it so much.
Tell
is
us
that
about
one
it.
of your biggest sellers?
It's become a signature
Yeah.
dish. You know, for people that don't want to eat the heavier stuff,
Right.
It's a very light dish. And
It's
wonderful,
a
fresh
fabulous
redfish.
giant piece of redfish with lump crab meat on top, and it is so delicious. And it's just
It's simple, but it's
so good, and
a
it's
little
just
bit of
always
herb butter.
fresh. And but then if I want to go the opposite way, then I get that cochon de lait pizza.
Cochon de lait pizza. Now, who else makes cochon de lait pizza in the
we
city?
call
Anybody?
it. I don't.
never heard
I
of
don't
it.
know.
I don't think
I
I've
call
ever had
it
it.
the Boudreaux. When we reopened in
Nice.
2010, it's so funny because we were pushing to get it open, and we're like, man, we don't have a menu. You know, it was like, we had my old menu, but I didn't want to do that anymore, and I had all these great ideas, and I knew I wanted to add pizza. So I like to do, you know, infusion of different cultures with our Creole culture. You know, like if I'll travel somewhere in the United States or the world, I'll pick up something from that culture and I'll bring it back and infuse it with our culture. And that's sort of the way I cook.
It's sort of a New
It's
Orleans
fun.
tradition to do that. Yeah.
It is. It's cool. And
Yeah.
I did that with the pizza, but
Yeah.
you know, say there's a cheese on it called Provel that is just a processed cheese from St. Louis, but you can only get it in St. Louis.
Oh.
And my wife's from St. Louis, so I've spent a lot of time there.
Oh.
But it melts really well, and I decided to put that on the pizzas. So there's a little infusion. This is a very Creole pizza. It's spinach and red onion and roasted garlic and cochon de lait with an olive oil butter. But
Yum.
It's really delicious, and we usually get it for an appetizer and take care of it home and eat it the next day. So it's even better.
Wow.
I love when Cheryl comes in. I get excited. She always texts me, "I'm coming over." I'm like,
Well, my best Katie story is I went to the track for the first time in my life with my family, and we just put down like $10. I can't remember what we bet, but just some nominal bet, and did pretty well. And so we said, okay, let's just blow it on a meal. And so we went to Katie's, the four of us or whatever, and had a really great meal and went a little crazy.
you. I hope you
We
enjoyed
spent
it.
all our winnings at Katie's. It wasn't huge, but it was a nice multiplication of our $20 or whatever it was.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And I take the food very personally, and I take everyone's experience there very personally. And if something's not right, I take it.
Well, that was. I mean, we had a choice. We wanted to do it somewhere in Mid City, and it was like everybody. The four of us really agree on food, and all of us could agree on Katie's. We were like, that's yeah.
Well, I'd
We'd
love
eaten
to
there
have
before,
you
yeah.
back, and
Right. No, we go. I mean, we
I'll
go.
give you my
occasionally.
number and just call me when you come in.
I'm sure we've run into you a few times. But
yeah, I try to make every table. I
Yeah.
leave the kitchen and I go to every table. And if I had another restaurant, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's part of the fun of my job. It's not just the cooking, you know, and I have wonderful people working there, so I'm not stuck in the kitchen all the time. And I get to walk out and see how people feel about the food, and I can see it in their eyes when I ask them right away.
And you
whether
can't have
it's
your mom
great
at the
or
door.
average. No, my mom. Oh, my 92-year-old mother is still working at the door. She's the hostess.
you pay her?
Absolutely. It's so funny, though, because she just puts it away and saves it to give to the kids. I'm like, Mom, do something, you know? She's
How long
wonderful.
She been doing that for you?
Since I bought it.
Wow.
And we're talking, 93.
Wow.
It's 22 years minus almost 5 after Katrina. It took me a while to get that
Right.
going again, but
She's the best hostess in town.
yeah,
She's
thank you.
she's
And I get to see
wonderful.
my mother almost every day, so that's a big deal to me. You know, it goes
Where does
really
she live?
close. In Lake Vista. She's
Okay.
got a little
Yeah, it's not
apartment
far
there.
away, yeah.
No, she's got a little apartment there that they've lived in since. As a matter of fact, I lived there when I came back from LSU. I lived there for about a year. You know,
All right.
gotta get out of here. But
So Cheryl, do you enjoy cooking? Do you have?
I do enjoy cooking. I'm fortunate that I eat out a lot because I have a lot of chef friends, but I do enjoy cooking.
And who taught you? Did you learn from family or?
I
Or
would
is
like
it
to
just
say that
self-taught?
because everyone who cooks says, "Oh, and my mother made the best this," and my mother, I love her to death, but she was not the best cook. So I think I probably pick more up from my grandmother, who is completely 100% Italian, and kind of watched her make red gravy and things and whatnot. But I just really picked it up. I was in the wine business for a long time, and you go out to eat a lot, and you really get to understand flavors and nuances and how this wine goes with this dish. And it's really, I just kind of picked it up along the way more than anything.
All right.
you cook with your taste buds. I always thought everybody could cook, except my mom. It's one of her. She makes a great meatloaf, which we serve every Wednesday. But
Wow.
But I always thought everybody could cook because you could. It's your taste buds. You just take risks with different things, and you know what tastes good with what. And sometimes you go out on a limb and it works. I love
Did
cooking.
you cook growing up?
Oh yeah, I've been in the kitchen since I was about 7 years old,
Just
doing it, making tuna salad or whatever. I mean, I love food. I was a
And-
chubby little kid.
what was your first job in the food industry, like professional job?
Sizzler Steakhouse.
No
Nice.
way.
When I was 15, and it's a great story. I started as a dishwasher, and I got to know the line cooks and stuff, and the manager, and they had a couple of cooks walk out one night, and within 6 weeks they had thrown me on the line, and I was flipping steaks.
When you were 15,
And I've never
or
looked back.
after that?
When I was 15.
15. Oh
yeah,
man.
I said I could do that. So I just did it, and I worked there for a couple of years, and then got in the bar business, which was more fun.
Yeah.
My first job when I got back to New Orleans from LSU.
Yeah, but
I
you had to
got
wait till you were like 16 to do that, right?
absolutely in New Orleans. But
New Orleans in the 80s.
But I
right?
got
Yeah.
a job. My first bartending job was a bar that I was hanging out at when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Nick's on Tulane. That was my first bartending job. So if you start at Nick's, you're starting kind of high up there. That was pretty cool back then. Because
While you were a student, you were.
yeah, when
You're
I
at
was
Nick's?
at
Oh,
UNO,
that's-
I was working at Nick's. It was great. The
Oh,
fraternity
girls
would
loved
come
you.
in.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Everybody. Yeah.
Oh, it was-
Hooking everybody up.
I don't know nothing about the girls. But at Nick's you learn mixology,
Yeah.
and truthfully. And the guy that hired me, he was a fraternity brother of mine, Walt Purcell, was truly one of the great mixologists of our time. He just started earlier than everybody else, and he was working at Nick's, and he just passed away a few weeks ago.
Oh, no.
Actually, that's Saturday.
Gee, wow, what happened?
Saturday before last. He had diabetes, and he just didn't take care of himself.
Oh man.
But he'll be missed, man. I mean, this guy lived
He was a
life.
fraternity brother of yours?
Mhm.
What fraternity was it?
Tau Kappa Epsilon.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Huh.
Just fun and full of life. And,
Oh man, I'm
but-
sorry.
Yeah, it was sad because the funeral was kind of cool because we were all there together and we were all just talking about Walt and we all had
Celebrating
Walt
his
stories
life.
and, yeah, man, he was the best.
Huh.
And then I had to go to the D-Day Museum to do the Millennium last weekend, and everybody stayed and partied at my old bar across the street, which is now the Bulldog.
Oh yeah.
So everybody went there, and I couldn't go because I had to get ready for a cooking challenge.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Saturday.
because you're banned because of. No.
And we tell them the outcome of the cooking challenge.
Oh,
what
we won.
cooking challenge was it?
We
What-
won.
what was
the
the cooking
Millennium every year. Cleveland Spears
Oh,
puts it on. He's a great promoter in town.
yeah. Wait,
But
you
it's
won?
our first year. Yeah, we won.
How many people
was
were
really
competing?
cool.
Who else was competing?
There were probably 8 restaurants, and there were 700 people there.
Wow.
What did you make?
Yeah.
I made a typical Creole dish, a Melaton seafood stuffing
Nice.
with
Love that.
seared redfish on top with a spicy aioli, and I just used the aioli we use on the beignets, and it worked.
Wow.
It wasn't really pretty. I didn't like the presentation, and I was concerned about that, but it really worked out, and we won.
Well, who'd you beat out?
Congratulations.
There were a lot of Creole. There was some Creole restaurants there. The Munch Factory, which is a great little restaurant, they were the closest
Huh.
to us. I don't know who else. But I know we were close with them.
Huh.
The Munch Factory on Elysian Fields.
Oh, okay. Haven't
They
been yet.
did a short rib over
Ah.
grits, over corn grits.
Nice.
And I didn't think we were going to win. I really didn't, but we did. So
Wow.
I was
Congratulations.
excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I saw you in the paper.
It was in the paper Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This past Sunday.
I got
How
it for
about
you. Don't
that?
worry.
All right.
Oh, you did. Cheryl's
She's
always
framed it
look-
for you
She's
already.
always looking out for me, man.
All right. Well, Cheryl, what are some great meals you've had that aren't at Katie's lately? What's really impressed you of late?
Oh, wow. We had a fabulous steak at Galatoire's 33 a couple
Uh-huh.
of weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Because that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first time I had been there.
On my way there tonight for my birthday.
Oh,
Ah.
One of the best steaks
I
we've
love
had in a
that
long,
place.
long
Right.
time.
Love that place.
And the deviled eggs are devilish
Ah.
and delicious.
How about the crab cake?
I didn't have the crab cake.
You got to have the crab
Okay,
cake there.
I'll have the crab cake next time.
It's crazy. And he gave me the recipe.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good to know the people
I
on the
didn't quite-
inside.
I didn't nail it like he does, but it was really
He
good.
puts
That's-
that-
Ah.
It's like crackers and crab meat, and it's got a bechamel in it. Bechamel cheese, cream. Like, wow. I mean, it's
Huh.
crazy. It's good.
That sounds awesome.
It does sound delicious. And I had brunch yesterday at Broussard's,
Nice.
which was really good and
Yeah,
fun.
right. They've
and,
had a little makeover lately. How's that? I haven't
yeah.
been since the new.
It's great. They did a great job, and who doesn't love $12 bottomless mimosas? So we had a group of about 28 people for a friend's birthday.
Wait, that was
and
today for lunch or yesterday?
Yesterday for
Yesterday.
brunch.
Okay. All right. Because you
Yes.
look kind of bright-eyed. If I had $12 bottomless mimosas for
Yeah,
lunch,
well,
I'd
I
be a little...
think we broke them too on their $12 mimosas because we had our fill of mimosas, but it was great. We had
They
a
may
great
end
time.
that, huh?
It was really good.
Well, we need to take a break for just a moment and thank our sponsors, Margo. Thank you tonight to the Nola Brewing Tap Room, the watering hole of the Nola Brewing Company on Chapatula Street in the Irish Channel, where you can get all of Nola Brewing's beer plus another 8 specialty brews you can't get anywhere else.
And let me tell you about our friends at Petite Pet Care. While you're at work or enjoying a vacation or a meal out at Katie's, you can board your pet. You don't have to board your pet. I'm sorry. He can stay in the comfort of his own home. For loving care when you're not there, Petite Pet Care.
All right. So what else have you had lately that you really love?
Oh my gosh. I love Tubes Meadery.
Oh, yeah.
Went there a couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
weeks
We
ago.
love
and
that.
It's good.
Yeah, we
cracklings
always say
are
he's
like
like the
crack.
only guest that kind of scared me. I don't scare easily, but he was doing some knife tricks for me about an inch from my nose
Oh, yeah.
when he was on the show, and then he took his shirt off shortly after that. So
Well, that's interesting.
yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah,
They
I
come
love
to-
Isaac.
They come to Katie's a lot.
Oh yeah, I
They
think he
come
just
in
had a
the
birthday
afternoon.
yesterday or something
Oh,
the day
really?
before. Yeah, but I love both of them.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
That's us Leos.
Sweet
Maybe I
couple.
should have brought some knives.
So y'all, we have a part of the show that's called Off the Menu, and we ask you another question that I'm sure you would not be asked on any typical job interview or any reputable.
We'll be
business,
writing
at
about
least.
it in Renaissance publication.
But yeah, so Cheryl, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna, nothing too scary, but
I like her scary ones better.
I know, but I'm feeling nice tonight. They're such lovely guests.
Oh, thank you for being nice. I like nice people.
No, but I would like to know what is the most profound experience that comes to mind in your professional career in so far, like something that you has been
Like a watershed event or something.
yeah,
something
something
that's life-changing.
life-changing, or just something that you felt so proud of, or just I don't know. Is that a
No, I just have to think about it for a second, I guess, because I've had a lot of great experience. I've been very fortunate that I've worked at some great places that I've really loved. So I've gotten to travel with work, being in the wine industry and having a lot of great wine and great food and meeting fabulous people, over the last 20 years or so. So I don't know what's one profound experience, because I've had just a plethora of great experiences. It's,
You think it's something that would we're kind of confirm that what
You
you're
are
doing, or you're on the right path, or else maybe change the direction within the field you're in. Maybe like you went, holy crap, I can't do this anymore. I got to go in this direction or that direction or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
anything like that.
I was in retail right out of college, which led me to the wine business in a sort of roundabout way. That causes people to drink. Dealing with public all day in retail is not a whole lot of fun. And then I actually sold wine on the streets, and that was a real challenge.
Wow, what's that like? Selling wine? I've never bought wine on the street. How do you sell wine on the
I
street?
sold to people like Katie's. I peddled wine.
Oh, you
had
went
to
to
be
restaurants.
great.
Yeah.
door to door?
Sure, you had to.
No,
be
I
great
thought
at
I
it.
thought you meant you were like busking, like you're
Oh,
standing out
no.
in a street corner with bottles of wine trying to sell it to
After
people.
Katrina, I could have done that and done very well. But no, I sold to restaurants for a little while, but that didn't suit me so well.
Well, I
But-
mean, you're just what you do now for our business
Yeah.
is. I can't say enough to have you in working for all of us. It makes New Orleans a better place. It really does. It makes the
Yeah, I
restaurant.
mean, these just great restaurants, and people don't know about them because
Yeah.
there's so much here. I mean, we have
Yeah.
so many places to eat, and a lot of places die because they don't get enough publicity or whatever. And
Right.
I feel like one of the missions that probably you all have that's so great is I'll find out new places from New Orleans Magazine or whatever, and lights me up to a place.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're talking about in the show. Next thing you know, we're bringing friends, and I think that kind of stuff really helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Of
And I
places
mean, you
move
want to
forward.
see everybody succeed.
Right.
That's the thing. We want everybody to do well. So I guess probably one of the pivotal things was I did start my own business and working on my own for 3 years before I went to Renaissance Publishing. Really kind of affirmed that, wow, I kind of do know what I'm doing. If I can pay my bills and do this on my own and work out of my house, I guess I'm doing okay. So that made me feel really good that folks like Ann, who we talked about earlier from Tales of the Cocktail, recommended me. When you have people on that level and they're saying, call this person, she knows what she's doing, that was probably the biggest affirmation for me that, I've kind of, apparently I'm okay at what I do.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, Scott, I know we're running out of time here too, but I wanted to ask you one. I'll give you an easy one. How about this? If you weren't, you already said you didn't want to be an attorney for sure, and if you weren't going to be in the restaurant or bar business, what would you be doing? What would you like to do if you had a choice of some other career path, and it couldn't be
Someone
bar or
asked me
restaurant?
this question the other day. Nothing.
Nothing.
See, that one I would have
Suicide.
answered.
I have found my niche. I'm very lucky
Right.
to have found my niche. And, I mean, you asked me, a history professor.
All right.
I could be a teacher, but,
There you go.
I love history. My degree is in history.
Right.
I could do that, and I've thought about it. I just wouldn't want to be in the legal profession for sure. And, you know,
All right, we got that. Be clear on that one.
you know what I mean.
Gotcha, man. All right. What are you going to do for your birthday today, by the way? You got reservations in a few minutes.
We're trying
What
to
do
get
you,
to 33 now. We're going to go a little bit later.
that's where you're
called
going.
Melvin Roderick.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're going
Oh,
to
so you get the
33
crab cake.
tonight. Oh, yeah.
and
And
the,
the
one to
egg,
go.
the egg.
and the eggs, the deviled eggs.
Deviled
I'll
Yeah.
get the deviled eggs.
Because one's got crab meat ravio, one's got is a classic with caviar on top, and then one has one other something with shrimp on it,
just get 'em.
and it's delicious.
So
They're
this is
all
ju-
really good.
So it's not just a little paprika and some boiled
no,
eggs. No, this is
this is kicked up deviled eggs.
yeah. Oh,
and
that
they're
sounds
really
awesome.
good.
Wow, you make deviled eggs sounds good. That deviled eggs gross me out. I have no interest in them, but just now I got hungry.
Well, it's one of the.
Yeah,
It's
right.
become cool again now.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's. I mean, people would.
But it has to be good to be
Yes.
cool. I mean,
Yes.
you can't just serve it because it's trendy and expect people
No.
to appreciate it.
Yeah,
or,
you're right.
That's
You're
got to
very-
be
it's very
spectacular.
well, we're just about out of time, but maybe just one more question. I got one. If you got one more,
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Scott, I was going to ask you, what's on that note? What's the newest thing that you've added to the menu that's worked? That's kind of stuck. What's the newest thing?
Just in our manager meeting a week ago, do you think we need to change the menu? Do we need to do something? They asked me if I was crazy. So we don't change a lot, but I do a lot of different specials every day. Not so recent, I added a sandwich called the Legend.
Ah.
And I found it I made it by mistake. I ended up combining barbecued shrimp and couchon de lait and Provel cheese.
There we go
and I
with
stuck
that
it in a
same Provel
sandwich,
cheese. Okay.
and it's like people go crazy over it.
All right.
You know, I like to work with scallops. I'm doing a scallop for the Sushi Fest.
Nice.
I like to work with different types of meat, and so we have Katie's, and then we have a special board. And like brunch on Sunday, I do different things. I made a waffle sandwich yesterday and sold about 40 of them. We ran out of waffle mix.
Nice.
We couldn't.
What'd you put in the
keep
waffle
up.
sandwich?
It was a over hard fried egg,
Nice.
bacon, Provel cheese,
Nice.
and spinach.
That sounds
And
great.
And then I pressed it.
Ah.
The 2 waffles, it was huge, but we pressed it, and
Man, this was a special. You don't do this regularly.
no, I'm going to do it again. We sold a lot of them. And I'm trying to come up with new things.
You know,
but
you're
when you
open
have
for,
a huge menu like
Yeah.
we have, it's you don't want to play with it too much because
Right.
there's a lot to do. But part of the job that I love is creating new things.
Right.
And
Now you're only open for brunch in the weekends, right? Not during the
just
week.
on Sunday.
Just Sunday.
We're
just
only
Sunday, okay.
closed on Sunday night too. We open for brunch from 9 to 3.
Okay.
And now with the addition of upstairs, we don't have the 2-hour wait anymore.
Nice.
So that's a big deal. Waiting to drink the mimosas.
Well, do you have any closing questions for our guests, Margo?
Well, I mean, I have tons of questions, but we'd have to go into another hour.
Okay.
So I would
Let's
like
wrap
to.
it up.
I could talk to you guys.
Well, just
Life-changing question. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I got a ton of those.
All right, we'll have to have you back on as the main guest sometime soon.
I would be honored.
Okay.
Believe me.
Why don't you give us, Cheryl, another plug for Sushi Festo? Tell us the details again for any
Sure.
folks that missed that.
Website.
Website, anything?
It's New Orleans Sushi Fest, and this is the second year. It is Sunday, August the 16th from 2 to 5 at the Lakefront Arena. Royal Honda is our presenting sponsor, so we're really excited to have them this year. VIP tickets are sold out, but there's one chance to get them. This coming Saturday, the 8th, at Royal Honda. We're giving away a pair of VIP tickets, so if somebody wants VIP tickets, that's your chance to come win a pair.
What do they do at Royal Honda to get them?
They register to win. We're going to have a little rolling demonstration by the chef from Lakeview Pearl, and Froyo is going to serve complimentary samples of yogurt. So they just come out and visit and hang out with us from 12 to 2, and we're going to pull a name at 2 o'clock, and somebody's going to win VIP tickets.
Well, my car is from Royal Honda, so I'm going to go get some
An oil change or something?
oil change
Wait a minute,
and
Cheryl.
come on
I'm
out.
doing this thing with you. How many people are coming to this?
2,500 to 3,000. So we're.
I better start ordering scallops
You
now.
better get your scallops in. So yeah, we're expecting a really great crowd. We have live music by Flow Tribe, all kind of other fun entertainment throughout the day. Cats Meow Karaoke Club, so you can come sing and cut up.
Free parking, plenty of parking.
Free parking. It's
and even with 3,000 people, plenty of room in the arena.
Plenty
It's
of
not going to
parking.
be crowded in there.
It
It'll
seats
be
10,000 people, so we've got lots of room. It'll be nice and spacious. We have a marketplace as well, so we'll have people selling sushi fascinators and hats and jewelry and socks
Cool.
and origami and really fun things there. You can buy a raffle ticket as well to possibly win 2 airline tickets to Japan.
Wow.
So we've got all kind of fun things happening. 20 restaurants, lots of great sushi and Japanese-inspired cuisine. Tickets are $15 in advance, and you can go to NewOrleansSushiFest.com to purchase tickets or any Ticketmaster outlet, and they're $25 the day of. But I would advise people to get them in advance because last year we came close to selling out.
Oh, wow. And it'll be benefiting the Japan Club of New Orleans and the Japan Society of New Orleans,
Correct.
too, right?
Exactly. So we donate a portion of the
Awesome.
proceeds to both of those clubs. So
All right.
should be really good, and we have great chefs like Scott. And
I'm excited about
He's
it.
doing a scallop dish with bok choy.
With bok choy and seaweed, and I've added to this as
I
I've
see
thought
that.
about it more.
Wait. Provel cheese, too.
No, I'm not gonna. That's I don't
Cochon
know.
delay. That's it.
I
That'll be.
could probably mix it into the mixing broth.
All right, so why don't you give us your website and your hours again, too, for Katie's before we wrap up?
Website is katiesinmidcity.com. Our hours are we're open till 9 during the week, from 11 till 9. Lunch and dinner during the week. 11 to 10 on Friday and Saturday. 9 to 3 on Sunday.
All right. Well, thank you. Our special guest tonight on Midnight Menu Plus One was Cheryl Lemoine of Renaissance Publishing and Sushi Fest. And her plus one was Scot Craig of Katie's. You can find out more about both our guests and a whole lot more about their food ventures by following the links on our website, itsneworleans.com.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, Cheryl and Scott. We
was
really
an honor.
appreciate it.
No, thank you very much for having us.
And we want to thank again our sponsors, Petite Pet Care and NOLA Brewing Tap Room, for the awesome beer this evening.
And have we mentioned that NOLA Brewing Tap Room is open 7 days a week? Yes, we have, about 12 times. You can come here anytime, or you can join us back here next week for another Midnight Menu Plus One.
We look forward to seeing you all next week. Till then, I'm Margo Moss.
And I'm Ray Canada. Good night.
You know Labor Day signals the unofficial end of summer, but not the end of your outdoor projects. Lowe's helps you do it right and helps you save with Labor Day deals throughout the store. Shop now and get 2 bags of Stay Green potting mix for $12. And keep your lawn looking neat and trim with a Craftsman 2-cycle 17-inch gas string trimmer, now $20 off at just $119. Whatever's still on your to-do list this Labor Day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 8/28. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii, U.S. only.